ever seen one of these. They are probably the most recognizable fossils in the world. Flat, segmented bodies with all those antennae legs. When we picture life in the ancient seas, we picture but they're famous for more than just looking cool or preserving well. They're famous because they were absolutely everywhere. For over 270 million years, trilobites dominated the planet, crawling across the ocean floor from Siberia to Morocco, Canada to Australia. In their chimie, they were the most successful and possibly most abundant animal on Earth, until they weren't. The mystery of the trilobites is the same one we face when any superabundant animal completely vanishes, because these guys were survivors. Their history shows they practically invented survival. For them to finally go extinct, with no direct descendants, nature had to try to kill them 4 separate times. Let's rewind to about 540 million years ago, just before the Cambrian period. All life was in the sea, and most of it was soft and squishy sponges, worms. Worms? Jellies? Sure, there were some mollusks and simple shelled creatures. But for the most part, you didn't have to worry about predators. Then, around 521 million years ago, the first known trilobites show up in Siberia. They might have evolved from small, thick-skinned, segmented worms, and you can kind of see the family But trilobites took physical complexity to a whole new level. How much further? Well, they had legs. For one, they also developed complex eyes and a sophisticated digestive system. Plus, they were covered head to toe in an exoskeleton of calcite and chitin. The trilobite was a true a founding member of the group that today includes spiders, crustaceans, and every insect. Armed with these amazing new features, they dominated the Cambrian seas, feasting on worms and other squishy invertebrates. They flourished and diversified rapidly. Within 40 million years of their first appearance, there were at least 60 different families of trilobites, from the Googlyidocephus to the classic Elrathia, probably the most common trilobite fossil in the US. For millions of generations, they thrived by keeping a low profile on the seafloor, but the Cambrian seas were getting hostile. This was the era when predation first appeared, with animals hunting other animals. We've even found trilobite fossils with bite marks on them to prove it. By the end of the Cambrian, trilobites and many other animals had learned some new tricks. The cutest one? Enrolling based on their body segments. Some types of trilobites could curl up into a little ball, just like modern pill bugs or armadillos. Besides being adorable, it made it much harder for new predators to get a bite. But not all threats came from other animals. Around 445 million years ago, Earth's climate delivered a double punch. First, a dramatic cooling changed ocean currents, cutting off the supply of warm water foods. Then, a period of glaciation locked up a lot of Earth's water, causing sea levels to drop dramatically. This event, the Ordovician Silurian extinction, wiped out about a quarter of all animal families, including half of the trilobite families. The trilobite families that survived were once well adapted to this colder world, but they had another problem. As the environment changed, other organisms were evolving too. The new adaptations from the Cambrian pincers, spikes, and claws were getting more advanced. And then came what might have been the trilobites' kryptonite, jaws. About 420 million years ago, the first jawed fish appeared, and many experts think these new predators put even more pressure on the trilobite. Sure enough, about 20 million years later, spiny, spiky trilobites start showing up in the fossil record, like this one, Dicranoris, bristling with curved spines. But Earth had more surprises. Around 375 million years ago, something happened. We're not exactly sure what, but we know the results. Oxygen levels in the water dropped, reef communities collapsed, and most jawless bottom, including the trilobites, vanished. This series of events, the late Devonian extinction, wiped out about 20% of marine animal families, leaving only 4 families of They were on the ropes, and the final blow came with the greatest die-off in Earth's history. 252 million years ago, something radically changed our planet's atmosphere. Maybe an asteroid impact, maybe massive volcanic activity. On top of that, the continents were shifting, altering climate patterns again. Whatever it was, it came for the Trilobites, and it came fast. In probably less than a million years, 70% of land species were gone, and 95% of sea species disappeared, including the very last It took the worst catastrophe in the history of life, an event called the Great Dying, to finally wipe them out. Now, it might not sound like it, but the tale of the Trilobites is a huge success story. Sure, they're gone, but at the time, they were the most advanced animal the world had ever seen. They became one of the most diverse groups of extinct organisms on record, with over 15,000 described species. And they survived for way longer than the Nonavian dinosaurs and longer than mammals have been around, including us. So maybe the question isn't why they went extinct, but how they managed to endure for so long. After all, today, we are one of the planet's most successful animals. The Trilobites' troubles may one day be our own. Thanks for watching.